feels slow?
No, I feel slow. Hear myself.
Oh.
Gotta get used to the echo.
Oh. What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you! Come on!
With Kevin.
Don't listen to Stefan and his prep rules.
Stefan.
I don't think they care what you like.
And Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Where are we at in society today?
I feel like I just destroyed something.
Can you guys just...
No forget Jesus, people!
There's a no-hitter right now, bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
Wow!
I will fucking drive to Seattle and give you a hand job.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
Can I get on this? Say my name right if you're gonna come on this fucking show, dude. I said Sam Darby. Sam Darby for Heisman.
Sam Darnold?
Darnold, whatever his name is. Ronald.
Say his name right if you're on the damn show.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
Fuck Philly.
And here we go.
This podcast makes you drink.
I didn't think much to eat. Well, I took them.
Alright, let's get the show on.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I feel like we did this already.
I like to do things twice.
Sometimes three times.
Many times as it takes.
This podcast makes you drink. So let's get going. Of course not. Don't mind me.
What's up? What are we starting with?
World Cup. So exciting, apparently.
Well, you're the soccer fan. Did you watch it?
Did I watch it? I'm seeing something. If I just mute myself, can you hear me? Nope. Cool. You guys can't even hear me. This is awesome. Yeah, I didn't think so.
That's not gonna work.
There we go. Alright. I hate this show. I thought this was going to be more fun.
I know, there's a ton of talk about on this episode, too.
What do we got? World Cup. France beat some team. Croatia. 4-2. Exciting stuff.
Bullshit. It's fixed.
Corey gets a new golden thumb.
Woohoo!
Trying to catch up with me. I like that.
I almost thought I was going to choke it out. Because you had a lead after, like, day 2. And ever since then, I took the lead for a while. But I slowly choked it away, like I tend to do.
Corey's our like hidden soccer analyst because he just won the MLS too. So
that's back.
There we go. All thumbs soccer wise.
Is that a bummer?
A little bit.
Don't be too bummed out. I decided to do a tennis bracket for the first time, and that went wonderful for myself.
At least you stay consistent. Second.
Pick the winner of the U.S. Open, nail it. Pick the winner of French, not that that's hard, but nail it. Wimbledon, nope. Let's start a bracket. Let's have fun.
Should have done a women's.
I would have lost a long time ago on that. Like round 1. When you have Sloane Stevens in the final, it's not good.
You and everyone else, though.
Yeah.
I had Kerber in my final 4. That would have been good for a little while.
I would have picked Kerber to win it all.
Oh, okay.
You guys started talking about tennis. So I can flick back. Did this change your point of view for watching tennis, or are you guys gonna still be like only forced into my subjection of onto you guys?
You mean soccer?
Yeah.
I actually watched quite a bit of the last. Like I watched Belgium and England. I watched some of France, Croatia, and a couple of the matches before that. I didn't watch the whole thing. I wasn't going crazy with watching matches. I like FIFA, though. I like tournaments.
Yeah.
That makes me watch it, is the tournament style of play.
Okay. Fair enough.
I feel like that's one of the things like lacking for like say like the Premier League is that they don't have like a tournament. Like I know they have like their other tournaments. What is it, the Champions Cup and that stuff like that goes on during it.
Yeah.
But I don't like seasons of sports that just end with a champion. There's no like tournament style to figure out who the champion is.
That's
So
fair.
tournaments are more exciting for me. It's like, oh, the underdog could just come out of nowhere and win it all.
Yeah. Which in this case, France wasn't an underdog, but Croatia kind of was.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was like, oh yeah, Croatia, they're probably going to be one of the 4 teams that have a chance to make it to the final.
No, I don't think so either.
No one.
So that was exciting in that aspect. Obviously, it was exciting for most soccer fans that England made it as far as they did.
I know. I was cheering for England, so it didn't go through for me. But you know, almost getting third place. Close.
I was cheering for Japan, and they had Belgium on the ropes. And Belgium ended up being the 3rd best team in the tournament, so they shouldn't hang their head too low. They should have beat Belgium. They choked it out in the last few minutes.
Yeah. Very true. World Cup for women starts in 2019 in France, coincidentally. Early favorites, obviously, USA. And Japan and Germany. It'll be interesting to see what happens in qualifying. U.S. is yet to be officially qualified, but France is also another one of those teams where it's like home field is going to come into play, possibly. So it'll be interesting to see.
Can't wait to do it all again.
I was fortunate enough to go to the last Women's World Cup. That was a fun time.
You went?
Yeah. I went to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals.
Crazy.
The trifecta. And it's definitely a cool experience. Especially Montreal, I think, was my most favorite because even though it was in Canada, it was definitely like 100% American. There was like no German fans, and just hearing like anytime the ball came close to the net, you heard like a deafening scream.
Huh.
So it was kind of interesting just to see that. And I've been to like Seattle Sounders games, and it's just no sound like it I can compare to.
Even during a rivalry game against Portland.
Oh, I haven't been to one of those yet.
Wow, so maybe that would compare.
But I've been to games in the Dome, and I don't know, I can't compare the type of sound. It was. You also got to realize it's not like it's your typical crowd where it's a good melting pot. It was a lot of younger girls, so it had a different type of deafening tone to it, a little higher pitch. And by higher pitch, I mean a lot of screams, and it hurt the ears.
Contributed by your girly scream, right?
Yeah. Shut up. There was actually one time. So my first game was China versus U.S., and that was interesting because you had U.S. fans and then a row of China fans in front and behind, so it got intense. And it was just like anytime they said, "Let's go China," it was basically out, like called by "Let's go USA." So stuff like that, the good competition stuff.
Right.
But the World Cup is like the pinnacle for me, and when it comes to soccer, and I think for everyone, draws a little interest, and it's a little more interesting when the U.S. is involved. Hopefully,
I see a lot of casual sports fans start to watch FIFA World Cup.
There's also nothing else to do right now.
That's true.
So that probably helps. I mean,
plus the video game is a big hit.
Yeah, with all the athletes and everything.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. 2022, it's going to be in Dubai in like basically from Thanksgiving to like the week before Christmas. So that'll be interesting. See how it competes. Fox is probably like, what the hell? We just paid like $2 billion to have the worst ratings in 12 years. Awesome. Because ratings were down for the Women's World Cup. Well, actually, no. The Women's World Cup drew, obviously, because U.S. was in it. But the ratings were down 40% this year. And
for this World Cup right here?
Yeah, I can't imagine it being any better next Men's World Cup.
I'm actually surprised when you have three of the biggest names in soccer and football were in the FIFA tournament. With Neymar, Messi, and Ronaldo all in it. I'm surprised ratings weren't bigger, other than Messi and Ronaldo were knocked out early.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't help.
But even like in the group stage, I think also the fact that, I mean, games were starting at 5 a.m. on the West Coast. So I'm sure that didn't help.
Yeah, that makes it tough.
I mean, 11 a.m. game, it's kind of hard for people unless they're really diehard to get out and watch it.
Hell, I don't even want to wake up at 8 a.m. to watch it.
Yeah, right? You're a jerk. Nah. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
So I thought that they don't do it at like the same time, like time of the year.
They usually do, but because the whole scandal that gave it to Dubai, I mean, it's 120 degrees right now this time of year.
So they try to go for like a cooler time of the year.
Yeah, mild 95, I think.
Yeah. Huh. That'd be interesting.
Hey, let's give the desert a World Cup. That's smart. Thanks for the billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Hashtag no corruption here. I wish I had some money. Maybe we would have a better podcast. There's going to be a theme to today's sarcasm for me. All right. A little sore. All right. Let's go to Corey's Wimbledon recap. How do we do, Corey?
You and I didn't do so hot. We only got one of the final four correct.
It's not my fault Federer fucking lost.
Not my fault either. I had him in there too.
We all had him in there.
Yeah. But he had him win. Kevin had him winning. Yeah. So that hurt.
I don't even think with him winning, Kevin would have caught up, though. Me.
I'd have to do the subtractions. And
because the only thing he
did
is 200 more.
300, which would have given you 1,600 even. He would have gotten...
He was at like 1,100.
Yeah, he probably would have been short. I needed Nadal. That didn't work out. Djokovic beat him in a really good match. Like
Stefan. Nadal and Federer, basically.
Yeah. Like Stefan was saying, that was really the championship, as the final proved to not be much of a match. But it's just like we talk about in fighting or combat sports, Kevin, it's all about matchups. And Kevin Anderson has a really big serve, and it's really hard to read and
That's what she said.
to return. And Djokovic is probably the best returner in the history of tennis.
That's just gonna
So that totally negates Kevin Anderson's only weapon, and that's why you get a lopsided affair. With Nadal, his serve is weak, but he's probably a better shot maker than Djokovic, so they're going to have a close match every time. That really came down to exactly that, is Djokovic's return ability again, because he was able to break Nadal, some of Nadal's service games, and in the end, when you get to a tie-break fifth set, that's important. That's what happened.
I mean, I think it's probably fair to say that Kevin Anderson was probably rather exhausted.
Yeah, but I think
Not that
people would argue that Djokovic was too, because he had to play 2 days.
Yeah, but he only had to play what?
Just an hour or so
more
on the
games.
next day.
Yeah.
The other thing is, with the three-way, you have Nadal, who has a winning record against Federer. Djokovic has a winning record head-to-head against Nadal, and Federer has a winning record head-to-head against Djokovic. So the three best players that's why it's all matchups. They all match up differently. The reason Federer beats Djokovic is because everyone says his serve is very hard to read, and it's good. It's not the best, but he can place it wherever he wants. And on top of that, Federer's probably the best shot maker in tennis. So that's trouble for Djokovic. Whereas Nadal's serve is weaker, so Djokovic that's not difficult for him. And Nadal is difficult for Fed because Fed likes to make short, quick points, and Nadal's so fast, and he can extend a point, and Federer doesn't do well with extended rallies. He always loses. So they're all matchup nightmares. I'm glad to see Djokovic back. It makes tennis more interesting. We've had Nadal, Federer just win every major for the last 4 or 5 of them. So Djokovic, new name in the bunch.
Glad he came back when I decided to pick him.
And hopefully Andy Murray is healthy and back for the U.S. Open to make things even more interesting. If you want to talk about women's Wimbledon, I'll quick footnote. Serena made it, but she didn't play any player in the top 10 until the final, and then she got blasted in the final. So is Serena really back? Probably not. She's probably on the edge of a top 20 player right now.
She's on her way.
Still making her comeback. Yeah. The U.S. Open, she will be very difficult to beat, I think, by then. Also, it's in her home, so she'll be the favorite.
Like, literally, it's at her house.
Yeah, her courts.
Just a side note, my Apple Watch just told me to breathe. Don't understand why.
Take a breath. Take a deep breath, Kevin. It's going to be okay.
So, yeah, next up, U.S. Open. We'll have to do one in September.
All right.
On my bucket list to go to that, by the way, since it's in New York. There's no reason for me to not go once.
It's always in New York.
Right. Yeah.
I'll go with this sometime.
Ooh, New York, New York.
I heard first round tickets are cheap.
Yeah.
And you get it for the day, so you can go to like any match you
Oh,
want
nice.
for the day, like some.
Yeah.
Maybe see some celebrities.
Yeah, at the U.S. Open, you will definitely see celebrities. I mean, at all of them you do, but a lot of the New Yorkers you'll see.
Let's see Sharapova.
They'll be there.
She'll be there.
I just want her to see me. Like, really see me.
Yeah. You're one of the few people around that are taller than her.
Am I even taller than her? I'm taller.
She's 6 foot. You're taller than her. I'm not.
What's up next here?
Corey's NASCAR Minute.
Kentucky. Not that fun of a race. It was owned by Martin Truex. He won every single stage. It wasn't really that close. He's dominated there 2 years now. He won all stages last year. So he's 6 stages deep. No one's competed with him. Kevin is continuing his lonesome streak.
Okay, I got 11 this time.
He got
Doubled
11
up.
double digits from Stenhouse. Stefan took Elliott. He took Chase. Good driver, but he didn't really produce that much. I expected a 30 from him.
25.
He got
Okay,
25.
Take it.
All it does is pull me within 108. I'm still pretty far out, but I have 7 races to make it up. We'll see what happens. Stefan has some good drivers left. Kevin's definitely not out of it. Anything can happen.
The way Kevin's trending, I think he's out of it.
I don't think he's out of second place. I still have to do work to catch up.
Kevin is on a terrible, terrible streak.
I have a lot of good drivers left, which is beneficial. That was my strategy, obviously. It's nice to get a win.
Get a win for the good guys.
Just one win.
On that note.
You came in second. Who are you taking?
I will take 108.
Kevin's ready. He's just waiting on you.
Oh, yeah.
I want to fuck this up. Who is he not taking that I haven't?
I don't think you could mess his up. He's taking everything.
I'm doing a pretty good job at messing it up for myself. Thank you.
Austin Dillon at Hampshire.
I'm going to
William
take
Byron.
He did well on a short track earlier this year. Hopefully gets me some points. Just looking for double digits.
Yep.
Just looking to beat 7 points.
Just looking to get more than one.
Don't have to worry about Kevin's one.
Yeah, I got a 7 and you got a 1, so he'll probably beat us with Austin Dillon. Sadly, taking Truex, all I did was tie Kevin. And that's a perfect score. So.
Mm-hmm. Finally got over 50, though. Proud of you. Or actually 40. I think it was 40.
At least you have someone that won a race this year.
Consistency is what Stefan's going for.
Yeah. We'll see how it pans out for him.
All right, let's skip MLB standings. Streak recap. I've taken a commanding lead to 11 before I lost yesterday, so I'm back to 0.
So I'm halfway to where I need to be.
Gosh.
I have a streak of 6. I need 12.
I got greedy. I got to 7, I think.
He got cocky is what happened. Because you finally got past your 6 mark.
Yeah.
Pretty good storm.
Yes.
Baseball home run derby happening soon.
Bum, bum, bum. Tonight. In an hour.
Real soon.
Like soon.
Soon.
Like in an hour. Let's see here. Should Stefan even fill his bracket out yet?
I did.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Let's start with Stefan then. Going Max Muncy.
Familiar name for you, right?
Yeah. As soon as I find the bracket on the screen. There we go.
There you go.
I think Bryce Harper's not even going to make it out of the first round.
No, because
Even though he's home.
yeah, I think he's
There's no place like home.
a big fan of Freddie Freeman, oldest guy in the field.
At 28. Pretty young field.
I think he's got the experience factor is going to come into play.
No Atlanta Brave has ever made it out of the first round.
There you have it.
And then we look at Corey's, who's going all in on Harper.
Well, that was a quick recap of Stefan.
Just wanted to talk about the one pick I made.
Well, I don't know.
I don't even know
else?
half the other players
Yeah,
on there.
that's the thing. I don't either.
It's perfectly okay.
I went in on Harper strictly because he's home and he's made it to the semis before. Last time he burned out, so I'm hoping he learned something, a little bit of experience factor. Maybe takes a little bit off his swing so he has the energy later. That's a lot of people's problem, though. They don't think that he can do that. So even though he's the Vegas odds favorite, there's some dark horses. A lot of people think Muncy or Schwarber will take it.
Anything else before I recap mine?
No, because I actually researched everybody. I could give you the lowdown on everyone, but I'll let you do it.
I did Max Muncy because he's from the Dodgers and he seems pretty much like he's gonna win this according to ESPN at least, even though he's a 3 seed. Have faith in my pick.
Just got a notification that Max Muncy has the best at-bat / home run rate
Right.
of anyone in the field.
Yeah, he's hit
like
20
Red
homers and
Arms,
180 some odd at-bats. He started this year in the AAA league. He wasn't even a starter. Got called up, and he was on a tear since. I also picked Max Muncy, by the way, but I changed my pick because that would have been pretty boring.
Who did you have him playing against?
Schwarber. It would have been too similar.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it. It actually would have been the exact same as Kevin's. So.
So is this for a golden thumb?
Why not?
Why not? All right. How are we gonna do this? Is it gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4?
Sure, make it easy.
All right.
Or 1, 2, 3, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
1, 3, 5.
8, 9, 10.
I like to make it harder.
Okay.
All right. No, we don't care what you like.
1.75, 3.6, and 7.8.
Yahoo's scoring.
Yeah.
All right. On to golf. Let's see here. Stefan won the U.S. Open, so he gets first dibs.
Fowler again? Just going with your boy?
18-1.
It's been due. By my books, my calculations.
Does he have a major?
No.
And
That's why I said he's been due. He's gotten close a few times.
it wasn't that far off last time.
No. Do you want to go? I feel like every time we pick somebody up in the top here, ends up being somebody fucking like Hideki Matsuyama or something.
Yeah, but
Brandon Grace.
if anyone took Dustin Johnson, they actually would have won last one. Came in second.
Oh,
But no one took the favorite last time.
came in second in the.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? The last one?
U.S. Open?
Oh yeah.
No, I thought this is the U.S.
Oh, this is the Open.
Oh, this is the
British
Open. Okay.
The Open.
They call it the Open. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my boy Ricky. One of these times he's gonna pay off. And,
Double down.
and I think this is. He's got a good chance.
And that goes to me, since I came in second, unfortunately. Could lock this away early, but the U.S. Open sucked this year. Killed some golfers. I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going Dustin Johnson. Why not? Which means I'm going to do horrible.
Means he's not even gonna make the cut.
Yep. Ooh, Corey's doing it for me.
I'm going
McElroy.
with Rory. I'm going with the countryman.
That's what I was thinking of doing.
He's not really a countryman. I mean, he's Northern Irish.
Well,
Close enough.
Close enough.
he's in the Great Britain area.
There you go.
It's in the vicinity.
This is going to be in Scotland. And Tiger Woods is 20-1 odds favorite. You don't want to try him again, Corey?
No, I was going to rotate Woods, Spieth, but I'm actually going to try to win one this time, I think.
Ooh. Make it really interesting come PGA Championship.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an interview with Jason next week for next week's podcast. So we'll recap and then preview PGA then, since that's in August. We did a little brackets with the NBA and the Summer League.
It's going really well.
That was exciting.
For some of us.
Hey. You're welcome. # Go Sixers.
Well, Kevin, you're still in it. Your champion's alive.
Yep.
If you somehow pick the champion, I think you should just get it.
Yeah, I don't
At this point,
I don't even.
you and I are out. We didn't pick the champion.
All I have is Cleveland in the finals.
Yeah.
And all Corey has is Lakers.
It's the
in
Lakers.
final.
The only thing I should be credited for is getting 3 out of the Final 4, though.
Should be credited.
I have 3 of the Final 4. You guys have 1.
One that counts.
Yeah, his
At
at least
least I
his
do.
one at least counts.
If they lose, we're the same.
There's 3 you picked in there, and not one of them you picked to win it.
No.
So
Are the Sixers still in it?
no, they got knocked out last night.
All right.
They finally came back to earth.
After going 0-3, they went 2-0. Finally losing.
That's the thing is, like, I mean, even if you went 0-3, like, does that really make you that bad of a team? No.
It's Summer League.
Yeah.
That's why I had them beating Phoenix. I was like, they gotta have that one like random upset. Wait, how far did I have them going? I think I picked right on where they were stopping. I just had they were losing 2 wrong. Yeah.
It's tough because they sit people.
Yeah,
Like Utah has been undefeated. I didn't know this until I was reading about it. In the Summer League, when Grayson Allen and Tony Bradley played, they sat them against. They beat. No, they didn't even beat. They sat them against Memphis.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't.
So when
like
they
about
sit stars, how do you predict that?
Because even this Atlanta Portland game, I think they sat Trae Young. Like, Trae Young didn't even play.
That's why I picked Phoenix in LA, because DeAndre Ayton said he was going to play every game, and Phoenix was really going to try to win this thing. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. They're actually one of the teams that's going to try.
Uh-huh.
And then I heard Josh Hart say that he wants to dominate this Summer League, and he has so far. And he's playing every game, and the Lakers are winning. Colin Sexton, though, is playing every game, too, and doing well. So that'll be a really good matchup, I think.
That's why I picked Cleveland. I like the way he's been playing.
I think he's out to prove that Cleveland fans don't need to be so upset.
Yeah, I think he's gonna translate well.
He's got good size, and he's a rugged defender that normally translates.
Yeah, he's been able to score pretty.
That's what I mean. If he just works a little bit on his offense,
Yeah.
he could be Avery Bradley, who's a good player.
Oh, that for Summer League.
Woo! Sorry, I was preparing for our next segment.
Still trying to figure out where Melo's going to go.
Does anyone
No
really
one
care?
cares.
What about LeBron's shorts? Did you see those last night?
Yeah, the Lakers shorts. What's wrong with them?
I don't know. I didn't like them.
Oh, all right.
I don't know.
They're bright yellow and just had Lakers written like across his crotch area.
It was like a Lakers jersey, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was his first time seeing any of his teammates.
In person?
Yes. Some people have been upset because he's been spotted in the LA area partying with Leonardo DiCaprio and Al Pacino already, but has had no interest or no contact with his teammates.
Why would you go to
Off
Vegas?
season.
It's in Vegas.
The off season.
It's a different city.
They aren't even starters, any of them.
Let the dude enjoy his off season.
When's he gonna see him next? Like September, whatever.
Not like he's close with any of them.
It's not like he's supposed to play in these games. He's skipping USA minicamp too.
Because he needs to go to it.
I'm just saying.
Is he going to improve or something by going to that? No. Still going to dominate.
I just remembered what we have left. We have like a big segment left. Oh.
Yeah. You thought we were
I
flying
was like,
through
why
this.
are we trying to whip through everything? And then I just thought, oh yeah, we have a fun last topic.
Fun last topic.
Well, besides BB.
Mm-hmm.
We could fly through this one.
My favorite topic.
This shouldn't even be a topic.
Previously on Big Brother, who was on the block?
On the block last week?
It was Winston and
Scotty. Or not Scotty, sorry. Swaggy.
Well, it was originally Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty won the veto and took himself off. No. Your guy, Faisal, or whatever his nickname is.
Fessy. Yeah.
Fessy. Took Scotty off. He was replaced with Swaggy C, one of Stefan's guys, backdoored by the bitch Caitlyn. And Swaggy C got the
boot.
Got the boot, the eviction.
I blame that shit on Scotty. That guy's a fucking scumbag.
He's playing a weird game. I'm not.
And then I like saw last night he was like wearing like a swaggy shirt, like you just voted him off.
Oh, don't worry. His players
part of
are
his
already
plan.
onto his master plan. Like he tried to fake it, like he was, you know, like a friends with Swaggy and gonna vote for him, so it like throws everyone off. And then he has like people that were in that alliance, Haley and the rock star Angie, are already onto that he was the vote that swung it.
Yeah.
And Fessy doesn't want to believe.
And Fessy doesn't want to believe it, but
He wore
he's
the
just
shirt. He wore the shirt.
Yeah, he wore the shirt. He's fallen for the shirt. So now Scotty decided to put up Brett and Winston, the bromance. That is Kevin and I's players.
Why can't Winston have a week off? Like,
Well,
he's just on there.
One thing we have in our benefit, Kevin, is Sam is in our alliance, and she could take one of them off.
This is true.
Or save one of them, and if the other one wins the veto and takes themselves off, both of them could be safe. So
I don't know. Scotty's kind of sketching me out. Even though he's on my team, I'm like, what the hell was he doing?
Well, he gave you a tiebreak point for the HOH.
Yeah.
Catching up to Samantha.
He's kind of like blowing his lead, like his. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna get the X next week, so he got me at least the bonus point.
We'll see.
Stefan locked in with 3 points already.
That's not good.
Good start.
I feel like JC though is gonna be that guy that makes it to like
I
the
think
final five.
I think he's gonna float for a long time.
Bailey, I feel, she got the America's App Store.
Yep. She got the power.
Mm-hmm.
What she
And
got?
that's good
Identity
until,
theft?
yeah, she can basically change who's on the block.
Anonymously, so like the HOH will pick who they want on the block, and anonymously she'll be able to swoop in and change them to what
She
she
could change
wants.
both of them?
Yes.
Interesting.
It's an interesting power. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And it's good till like 8 people are left. So
yeah, she has it for a while.
But I also heard that they're only doing the App Store for like another week or so.
It's done, I think.
Or
Now.
is it done?
yeah, it's done. That was it for that play.
We'll bring
but
another twist in.
And no matter what, even if Sam doesn't use her power, it'll be used week 4.
Yeah, yeah. That's why she probably will use it this week, I think, because she doesn't want to give someone on the other team that power.
Yeah.
Hopefully to save her boy Winston.
No, her boy Brett.
Why, that means Winston got evicted then.
Yeah, I know. I don't care about your team.
Oh. So can evict Winston or Brett all I want.
Brett has the charisma, man. The mist, Scotty was calling it.
Yeah, but Sam kind of blew it for Winston.
Yeah. Okay. Done with BB.
All right. Well, I was going to play the cool intro music. Corey would have appreciated it. But if he's not going to be able to hear it, it's not worth it. But
I wouldn't have appreciated it, I guess.
no, because it's a little hip hop influenced.
I don't like hip hop.
Nope.
Known fact.
I also fact. Stefan is not owning up to what he said last year in the first Knowbodies. He said he was going to wear a tux this year.
Damn it. Way to remind me when we're on the show.
Good thing you didn't in a 95-degree attic.
We're going to change. Maybe I'll do it for the what do you call the other one? The
Somebody's?
Somebody's, yeah.
That's during the winter, right?
That's the end of the year, yeah. Best of, basically.
I have to switch it up for that one.
Suit and tie.
Should look better for the somebody's than nobody's.
Right, the Nobody's we should look like scum.
Yeah.
We're awarding
I'm a little
scum.
overdressed right now.
Yeah, we're awarding scum. I know, I shouldn't even wear a polo hat. I should be wearing a knockoff.
Do it shirtless.
What are you trying to say, Kevin?
Just
Rip the sleeves off.
not trying to get arrested for the guns.
All I'm saying is it's 83 in here. In climbing. So last year, the worst championship to watch went to the NBA Finals. So we'll start off with that one because I feel like it's going to be the same. We've got the NBA Finals, NHL Finals, Super Bowl, college football, college basketball, and World Series, all of which were pretty dramatized except for the NBA Finals.
Yeah, the NH Finals, Ovechkin gets his first Stanley. The Super Bowl, obviously, Stefan's not voting against. and it was dramatic. No one would.
Yeah.
What was college again?
College football was Georgia, Alabama.
Oklahoma.
That was exciting.
That was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
College basketball was Villanova. No, they stomped Michigan. That wasn't that exciting.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot.
World Series.
I was more sidetracked by the wing eating contest.
Yeah.
At that point.
The World Series, what was that?
Dodgers, Game 7.
Houston won.
Houston, yeah.
That was good. So I'd say college basketball for me and the NBA Finals were pretty blah.
Mm-hmm. True story. All right.
Are we picking one?
Yeah, we have to pick one. Point of awards.
No, we just want to talk about it all.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next one, guys.
Those were the noms. Moving on.
So last year we voted on. What are we choosing this time?
The NBA Finals we're doing the one that just happened, right?
Yes.
So that was pretty bad.
Sweep.
But there was kind of a what if factor for me with LeBron and the broken hand. If he was healthy, could it have been any closer? Game 1 was actually interesting. So I'm going with college basketball because Villanova dominated the whole tournament and it was pretty bad.
I will second college basketball.
Well, there you have it. College basketball. You're on notice. Last
What
year
were you
it
going to
was
pick, Stefan? Or Kevin?
NBA.
Okay.
But last year, NBA got put on notice, obviously. Did a fine enough job to convince our NBA, or you two, who like NBA and college basketball, to flip your votes. So I'm fine with that. We gotta switch it up.
It was just the dominance of Villanova. I mean, Michigan played well for like the first
And your
5
boy.
minutes. And then it was over.
What-
And yeah, my
what-
boy DiVincenzo took
DiVincenzo. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna unmute this. So you guys will hear the crappy version of the audio. Best game fight interview last year. The ceiling is the roof. Something we love to listen to all the time.
We probably should call this the worst game fight interview, right?
Yeah.
Instead of the best. Okay.
Best
worst.
Yeah, the best worst.
worst. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, man, I don't know if I should put this Ronda Rousey one in there, but it was pretty awful.
There it is. Let's start with the Ronda Rousey one. She was on Golic and Wingo, and it was kind of interesting.
Ronda, congratulations on the new venture. Welcome in. Tell us what we should be expecting from Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 34.
I think there's nothing that can really be expected, to be honest. Every day has been unexpected. Every day so far, I literally walk in and have no idea what's about to happen. So I don't know what to expect, so I can't tell you guys what to expect.
So, Ronda, let's go back and start with when you knew from the MMA, when you were done there, when you knew in your mind, I'm not going to fight anymore.
I never said that.
So there is a possibility that you could go back in time?
There's a possibility that I could go back in time? That's your question to me?
Go back in time and fight. Go back in the octagon.
I do not have the ability to go back in time, no.
No. Would you fight again?
I don't know.
How was the...
So basically, I don't know. I didn't like that whole interview.
She was very defensive and short.
Mm-hmm. On to Anthony Joshua. I put this one in because of what happened after the interview where he's not fighting.
Yes, I figured. Because he's
lying here. This is boxing. This is what we do. 10 rounds, 2 rounds, 12 rounds. You know, I know sometimes the bookies have it as he might knock him out in 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, but forget the hype. Joseph Parker is a world champion, so I knew he's going to be determined. So sometimes this does become a boxing match, not a fight. So I made sure, and as I said to you in the previous comments and interviews, this will be about boxing finesse. Joseph Parker stated this will be a war. I stated this will be boxing finesse, and I stuck to my word, and I controlled him behind the jab, the counter punches. And the main thing we cannot forget is I am the unified heavyweight champion of the world.
I was going to come to it later, but it feels like a good time to do it. Do you want to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world?
100. 100.
You know what that means, though, don't you? That means that you would have to face WBC King Deontay Wilder.
You're asking me, do I want to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? IBO, WBO, IBF, WBA. 21 professional fights, 6 world championship fights. Does that not show you what route I'm going in? Forget the hype. I'm not into that. Everyone here knows me better than that. I'm not into the hype. I'm about business. So let's get the business done. And now I've got the time. If it takes my trainer, Eddie Hearn, sitting down and discussing plans with Al Heyman, Shirley, and seeing what the future holds, I'm down to ride for whatever, whenever.
So you want that fight with Deontay Wilder. We know that he's watching on our colleagues at Showtime tonight in the United States. So what would your message be to him?
Just like Dylan said, Wilder, let's go, baby! Let's go!
And of course, we're not going to that fight.
No, today it was just officially announced. Alexander Povetkin versus Deontay Wilder, September 22nd at Wembley.
Hashtag set. And third.
Daniel, give us your thoughts right now.
I don't know, man. I thought the fight was going well. I don't even know what happened. It's like I got kicked in the head. Oh, man, I'm so disappointed.
You know, I don't think it's a good idea to interview fighters after they've been knocked out, but I really wanted to give you a chance to express yourself. I know this was an incredible moment for you. It was very emotional. What can you say at all about this and the rivalry between you and John?
I don't know, man. I guess if you win both fights, there is no rivalry, so I don't know.
Thank you for everything, Daniel. Daniel Cormier, ladies and gentlemen.
So I chose this one because obviously Joe Rogan interviewing a guy after he just got knocked out, not always the greatest thing. I mean, he's in tears, and it definitely wasn't a necessary interview at the time, especially after just being knocked out by John Jones. So that's why I threw that in. I know John Jones makes a lot of our worst coming up.
He's very popular this year.
But I'm going to give it to the Ronda Rousey interview because I just found it interesting how she took that question and went with how she just can't go back in time and stuff.
I will agree with that one.
That would have been unanimous.
All right. Well, speaking of John Jones, we are on to Worst Player of the Year, which last year went to Colin Kaepernick for other reasons. This year, we have John Jones. I also threw in Jameis Winston because of his extracurricular activities from 2016, and he didn't really have a stellar year in the NFL to begin with last year.
And then I threw in Deshaun Kaiser because he led the hapless Cleveland Browns for most of the year and did not look good doing so. And then I did Miguel Cabrera because he's a future Hall of Famer and superstar. But last year he batted .249, only had 14 homers. He was awful. And then I put LiAngelo Ball because he was a big recruit for UCLA, and then he decided to steal overseas and didn't have a year.
In China, no less.
Yeah. So I thought he deserved a mention for being an idiot.
Just had to keep your nose out of trouble. 1 year. Stefan, do you have anyone else you want to throw on this list?
I do not.
All right. I went first on the last last one.
I went
so.
first the one before.
Stefan, you're up.
Going with the bona fide dumbass, LiAngelo Ball.
Oof.
You had a good scenario going for you. Could have maybe actually gotten drafted. Probably not drafted, but maybe at least played on a summer league team or something.
Could have at least stayed on UCLA for a few years and built a college career.
Could have at least tested the NBA draft waters, and when they all told you, no, we're not going to draft you, maybe stayed in. Yeah, although I'm sure your dad would have told you to go to the draft.
Probably.
Kind of fucked everything up, and then probably almost might have fucked up things for LaMelo as well. Now LaMelo,
I know the video came out of his draft at the his workout with the Lakers, and it was less than
LiAngelo's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missed a lot of shots, looked slow. He's not making any NBA team anytime soon.
Well, that's why his dad had to start a league for him.
Yeah. I think LaMelo still has a chance, but he's really messing LeVar is really messing LaMelo's career up. I think he actually could have been something. Yeah. Anyways, my pick isn't LiAngelo. I go with Kaiser. He was just so awful. I know Cleveland is everything around him is bad, but he was really bad. Couldn't do anything. Had an awful completion percentage. All he did was run some touchdowns in.
I think I had him on my fantasy team.
I was less than impressed with Kaiser.
Yeah, on my fantasy. I think I had to start him a couple weeks.
I'm sorry. Worked
Won
out
a championship.
Well, that's up to you, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, I was leaning towards LiAngelo because he stole the stuff in China and basically ruined his NBA draft pick. I mean, it may not have been that high to begin with, or he may have returned for another year, but I feel like we expect this type of thing out of John Jones and Jameis Winston. Kaiser, he's on the Browns. Give him a break, Corey. Jeez, we went over this last year. It's the Browns.
So we all expect Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield to suck this year?
Yes.
Really?
I'm not a fan of Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't do anything in Buffalo with...
Well, he actually has helped
Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, Gordon.
He had Sammy Watkins before.
Yeah, in Buffalo. That's what I was saying.
So
He's already had him.
There's a lot of people that would argue he wasn't bad in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He was average.
I know people that would argue that.
Yeah. I myself would argue that he was average. He wasn't on the low
Am I
end.
saying that he's as bad as Deshaun Kaiser? No. I think he'll be better than Deshaun Kaiser, but Deshaun Kaiser is also a rookie.
Well, Baker then? He's a rookie. If he gets a shot, you think he's better than Kaiser? No? You're arguing no.
Probably not. But same tone, like you were just saying, Deshaun Kaiser didn't really have anything.
No, I honestly think this year, if you suck with the Browns, you have...
But I also think Deshaun Kaiser is your prototypical run-first quarterback.
You have Carlos Hyde now. You have another running back ahead of him that's supposed to be better. I can't remember right now off the top of my head. You have Watkins. You have Josh Gordon. You have a little bit of stuff. You shouldn't suck that. You should win some games. They're expected to be better this year.
I mean, it's not hard for them to be better.
Yeah, they have to win one game.
I mean, they
not asking for a
Browns.
lot out of them.
If they don't win one game, they're going under the not living up to expectations list.
Spoiler alert: they did worse than the last time they were up for worst team of the year. So just letting you know what we're coming up to with the Browns.
Well, there's no way they can do worse.
They can't do worse.
We said that last year, though.
Did we gave them that last year? The worst
Yeah.
team? Well,
And they went 1-15.
At this point, I might just give them worst franchise ever.
Not for the fact that they won those Super Bowls with Jim Brown. But yeah.
There's a reason why Cleveland is on our worst or most unfortunate sports town.
Yeah, we'll get to all that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going Ball. So he's got worst player of the year. Congratulations. You don't even get a thumb. You get like a pat on the back. Congratulations. You
get one of these.
Yeah. It's that.
Upside down thumb.
Moving on.
We got to modify those trophies.
It's a good segue to not living up to expectations because number one on our list is his brother, Alonzo, taken number 3rd overall. Shot worst among rookies that counted, worst percentage. 30% from the field. Pretty bad. I know, Kevin, you put Jameis Winston. Or no, I did. I put Jameis Winston.
You did this whole category.
I did Jameis Winston because you had him up there earlier, and I was looking at his stats, and he was projected to, turn Tampa Bay around.
Mm-hmm. Some of us named their fantasy teams after him.
And obviously that hasn't happened right now. So, and it's not looking good with some of his extracurricular. And then Amari Cooper, I know Stefan could attest to this.
It's Patrick all the way.
He was a fantasy stud his rookie year, and then nothing. He has done nothing since. Kind of fallen off.
Well, maybe he's going to come back on now that the touchdown hog himself,
Crabtree's gone. Well, that's why it's just for right now, because Lonzo could turn. They all could. Same thing with Cody Bellinger, won Rookie of the Year for the National League last year. He hit over 300. He had over 30 homers. He's on pace to be under 30 right now, homers. He's only batting .249. He's on pace for only 80 RBIs. All would be lower than what he did last year. So going into this year, a projected superstar, that's not good. And then last but not least is Sasha Zverev. He's young. He's only 23 years old, but he's ranked 3rd in the world. And people expected him to start competing for majors against Federer and Nadal and all those. And he has yet in his young career, he's been in 10 majors. He hasn't even made it past the quarters. So he's number 3 in the world and can't make it past the quarterfinal. That's not good.
How do you even get to number 3 in the world?
You win little titles. That's all he's doing. So when there's not big names, he's winning those games. So, but he's considered the next best thing in tennis, and I just don't see it until he shows me he can win. Get to the semis.
You just can't beat the good guys.
You can't beat the good guys. So that's not living up to expectations. He's supposed to be number one.
But he didn't even lose to anybody great. Right?
Lost to Joko.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that bummed me out because I needed him to beat Joko to kind of hurt you.
It's a very good category, stacked with all people I want to vote for.
No, you're right. Nishikori beat him? No. Golbus beat him. Stefan's right. Golbus beat Zverev.
I can't believe Corey when he acts confident about what he knows. He doesn't usually know.
Corey, you're up.
Not living up to expectations. I think the highest expectations were on. Well, there's two people up there I think really could make a run, and that'd be their first two people. I'm going to go with Jameis. I just think right now Lonzo Ball still. I give him one more year to try to do something. Jameis we've seen for 3 or 4 years now, and nothing has changed. It's actually maybe gotten worse. So I'm going to go with Jameis Winston.
I agree with the Jameis Winston pick.
Yeah,
I didn't have very high expectations for Lonzo. I know a lot of everybody else does. But.
Yeah, I think Stefan and I were in the same boat. We wanted to see how Lonzo did.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, listen back, we weren't convinced that his game was going to translate to the NBA.
So far, I will say his defense, surprisingly, that has shocked people.
And Corey was all over Ball's D.
That's why I put him on there, because he was my favorite college player. I was blind that year and just put UCLA all the way to the final. And this past year, I decided to take a good look at the landscape.
You watched the reality show, too.
I think that Lonzo is going to be, if he can just focus more on the point guard aspect, I don't think he's going to be this great scorer. I think I said it before he even got to the NBA that I don't think his jump shot was going to translate. It's just such a long. It's not a quick shot. He just has that awkward form, and I just don't think it's. I think in the NBA is so much more faster, and everybody's more athletic. That it just.
I'm hoping LeBron they bring Showtime back, and I think like the fast pace and fast breaks. It seems like that's what they're going for. As far as what LeBron's trying to recruit, because he recruited all defensive players. So it seems like they're going to try to play really good defense, get you to turn the ball over, and run. Everyone's athletic. So everyone plays defense and is athletic. They're going to be a defensive team, and they're going to run. And if they can do that, I think Lonzo will excel, because he does have good vision. I think that stood out. I think his length and good defense stood out. And those are the only two things that stood out. But if that's... To me, that's Rajon Rondo all over again, right? Length, good defense, and vision. So they got Rondo as well to probably help teach Lonzo.
Yeah. And I definitely had higher expectations for Winston. I thought.
You mean both.
I had high for Cooper, too. I thought
he
he was going to be
stud Mike Evans whenever Mike Evans decides to be a stud.
Be
Usually
healthy.
the years I don't have him on my fantasy team.
When he's healthy, he's a stud, basically.
They brought in Jackson for the other side to give him speed, and he never threw to him.
Yeah, because he admitted he can't throw a deep ball.
And then they brought in the tight end from Alabama. They drafted him, and he's a stud when he gets the ball. So, yeah, there's one common denominator to who throws them the ball. Fitzpatrick was going to get the first 3 starts. He went 2-1 last year, and the 3 starts he got last year. So we'll see how that works out for him. But obviously, I had the biggest high expectations for Jameis. So obviously, I'm going to make it unanimous. And that leads us to the Cleveland Browns. I'm just going to call this the Cleveland Browns of the Year award. Worst
Can we even
team.
pick anyone else?
Worst team of the year. I threw in like all the major teams, and like the only one I could see otherwise is the Pittsburgh Panthers basketball.
That's why
team.
I threw them in there, because I was like, what sport are we forgetting that we all follow? I was like, college basketball.
So
Pittsburgh was pretty bad.
Last year, I remember throwing in the college football team as well, and you kind of were like, yeah, but it's college, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't put them in this year. But, I mean, you got the Phoenix Suns going 21-61, Buffalo Sabres 25-45. The Giants and the Tigers tied in Major League Baseball with the worst record at 64-98. And the once prominent LA Galaxy had a terrible season, 8-18.
I think the correlation with that is, Corey, didn't you announce your fandom of LA Galaxy this past year?
Yeah, but if things were trending right, everything I touched soccer has been good, except the Galaxy.
Except the Galaxy.
They did sign Zoltan this year, so you're set there, Ibrahimovic. So he's been turning them around. They'll at least make the playoffs. We'll see what happens playoff time. Corey might be biased, and maybe we'll have a chance this year, Stefan. Some soccer form. As for worst team of the year, I gotta keep it the Browns until they. Yeah, I mean, if you get the vote last year after going 1-15, and you take a step backwards, I gotta vote for you.
Yeah.
You can't win a game in your sport. You win. You win our award. You're the
Especially
worst
if you're a professional team.
I think that was the argument we had with them last year, is that that's professionals. You should be able to win.
Yeah.
Well, we thought you could be able to win more than one, but you can't even win one. So, yeah, no, you're the worst of the worst.
That's why I had to throw Pittsburgh, just because of their conference record not winning a game.
Yeah. I'm sure their 8 wins were against shitty teams.
The very first 8 games, probably.
Yeah. They're probably. I think they start out at like 8 now too.
They probably did.
I'm sure they don't have a single quality there.
I mean,
so that one's unanimous, Cleveland. Yeah. Might as well give it to them every year until they can win a damn game.
Like I said, it's going to be the Cleveland Browns of the Year award from now on. Stating it. Worst or most unfortunate sports town of the year. I created this category because of certain situations. Obviously, our first one on the list, Cleveland, we just said they went 0-16 in football. They lost the NBA Finals and then lost their stud player. The Indians, well, they're okay, but they're not doing
their highlight was
special.
making it to the World Series 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and losing, right?
And losing to the Cubs.
And then, of course, I had to throw Tampa Bay on because the Lightning finally lost to Ovechkin after having a dominating streak over them in the playoffs. The Rays can't catch a break in baseball. They're playing in the Powerhouse Conference, bringing in third place right now, even behind Boston and the Yankees, who are on pace to go for over 100 wins, and they're on pace for 90-something, and are probably going to be excluded from the playoffs. And then, of course, the Bucks were expected. All of us had them with winning records last year, and they went 4-12. So, unfortunate it may be. And then I threw New York on here because of the Knicks. I mean, do I really have to explain the Knicks?
No, they're up there for worst franchises with Cleveland Browns.
But the only problem with New York is they have the Yankees, who are playing well right now.
Yes, right. But last year they didn't. So, I mean, there's that.
And then the Giants last year sucked.
Yeah. Giants, Eli, and Giants, and the whole Ben McAdoo.
They had huge expectations last year.
The Rangers, Islanders.
Yep.
Nothing.
No,
New York hasn't been exciting. Brooklyn Nets, don't get me started.
They're making big moves.
And then, of course, we go to Detroit with the Lions. I mean, it's the Lions. High expectations every year, and then they never seem to show up. The Tigers, I believe, aren't doing too hot right now. It's been a while since I looked at
they were the
team.
worst team last year, too, in baseball. And then the Red Wings weren't that great.
Yeah, I think they missed the playoffs.
Yep.
Pistons are kind of...
They just missed the playoffs.
Yeah. They looked good for a little while. They're They're an up and coming.
But still, no one in the playoffs. That's not a good year for Detroit.
And then we have San Diego. They no longer have a football team.
Not good.
And you have the Padres.
Awesome.
That's all they have.
They
Really,
do
right?
have the Alliance of American Football coming to them in 2019, so I guess they have that break spot coming. I forgot. A couple of weeks ago, they announced all the teams for the American Alliance Football program. We'll talk about that after the awards, but when you're here, I think it's Stefan's turn to go first.
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say San Diego.
I'm
gonna say losing your. Really, the Padres aren't. Have the Padres ever been anything?
Yeah, when they had Tony Gwynn.
I mean, and San Diego always, every year, felt like had high expectations for the Chargers and never lived up to them.
No.
And now they've just completely lost their franchise. The only reason I'm not picking Cleveland, I mean, they made the finals at least. And they might have got blown out. I mean, lost LeBron for the second time now.
You just don't want to give them 2 awards.
But they haven't been. The Cleveland fans weren't as upset this time.
No, I think they kind of expected it more.
Kevin, do you want to be the tiebreaker, or do you want to do your pick?
Yeah, I'll do my pick. I'm going to go New York just because I feel like they had high expectations with the Giants. And the Yankees are expected to win the World Series every year. And, I mean, we have the Nets and the Knicks. And just it's a big city, #1 market in the world. And they can't even bring home a championship last year.
But the Jets were a bright spot, Kevin. You almost didn't have to take shots.
5 wins, baby. Guess how many wins they're going to have this year? 5 wins.
Having said that, though, New York didn't lose a franchise, so I'm going to go with San Diego.
All right.
You're welcome, San Diego.
Keep it classy. And on to our last category. Corey added this one. Worst coach of the year.
For #1, Earl Watson. He was able to coach 3 games before the Suns fired him because they were 3 losses. I just figured that's a funny situation. It sucks for him.
You're not getting any chance.
It did tail off of him doing poor the year before. So it was just a continuation.
If you were that, like, it just makes no sense to me.
I don't know why they even let him start the season.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, if you were that low on him that you were only going to give him 3 games, and if he didn't win those 3 games, you were going to fire him.
Hugh Jackson, I mean, I don't really have to say much.
Solid coach.
Can't win anything. 1 win in 2 years. Not great. Brad Ausmus, he was the coach of the manager of the Detroit Tigers. They had the worst record in baseball. I was trying to touch every sport here. Kevin Stallings was the head coach of the Pittsburgh Panthers and has been fired after not winning a conference game. And then I had to throw this guy in here because I don't know how he has a job. Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game in his whole career, but he gets an extension. And the Bengals were way worse than expected. Well, not my expectation.
So is that
a lot
really,
of people's?
I don't see how that makes him worst coach. That just makes your program worst decision maker.
I'll tell you what makes him the worst coach. What did he say?
Oh yeah, after they signed him to this extension, all of a sudden he said, "Now we're ready to win some Super Bowls." Like the last 10 years were a waste of our time, then, man.
Like he wasn't trying.
You weren't trying then.
You wanted to wait till he got this extension. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and try now.
Let's win some Super Bowls.
That's what makes him my worst coach.
feel like I don't even have a vote in this. Sounds
Well,
like we're going
You
Marvin.
didn't vote. I was just.
I'll let you pick. I'll make the decision.
I'm gonna go Earl Watson.
That's tough.
Fired after 3 games. I mean,
You can't call him in and only coach 3 games. Worst coach of the year.
I guess that's why I'm gonna have to go with Marvin Lewis because of that bullshit Super Bowl prediction crap.
still early.
What are you coaching for? If you're not trying to win Super Bowls, what are you doing? We're here to win some games.
I dubbed this category now the Marvin Lewis Coach of the Year.
He'll be in it next year. They're not going to be good. They'll probably be the worst in the division.
And there you have it.
To win 1 games.
I think Cleveland will beat them twice.
Still got what's his face at quarterback, right?
Don't get me started.
You lost your prized possession.
Yeah. You know, I had some affection for AJ McCarron, and we kicked him to the curb. I'm not happy with Marvin Lewis right now. I'm happy you won this award, though.
Wait till after this season, and you see how bad AJ McCarron is, and then you can be like, you know what? Okay.
Maybe Angle was the right.
I get it.
Maybe give us DeShone Kaiser.
All right, and I think that'll do it for the Nobodies. Next week, going to be a little slower of a show. I mean, nothing really going on this week in sports.
Not a lot of stuff ended this weekend.
And
Always
good
enjoy
news.
the Nobodies, though.
Yeah. Always good to review what we didn't enjoy or what we did enjoy in a really sadistic way from this past year. Good news, 52 days until the NFL season. So we got that going. I believe a lot of training camps are starting up today. So there's that.
Oh, yeah, it's almost preseason.
We have to set up a meeting for our football league.
Well, we don't do the draft till
we do it like right before.
I'd like to see what preseason injuries we get, so you know somebody's going down.
Somebody.
And I ain't trying to draft that dude. I ain't gonna be that dude that drafts that dude.
You kept them. You don't have them.
It's gonna be fine. You're gonna start game 1.
He's already out of your team, buddy.
Just got married.
He did, because he copies everything Prince Harry does.
Oh my god.
Do we want to do a bracket next week of something?
That'd be a good idea to fill in some time. Which one are we gonna do? We've talked about like 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do all 10.
Okay. All the Adam Sandler movies, all the Will Ferrell movies, all the best NBA teams ever. Just all of them.
We'll save that one until start of NBA season. You guys can start plugging away. You can at least create it and start working on it. I mean, who we got? I say do a movie or something. We haven't done a movie one in a while. I have fun doing the Avengers or the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So
did you have fun doing the other movies?
Yeah.
I thought you were the one that got upset. Would you want to win?
All right.
Oh no, because the Avengers got knocked out.
Yeah, because Big Daddy won.
Let's just say.
So we might as well not do Adam Sandler movies, because how could we say Big Daddy is our favorite movie of all time and then do an Adam Sandler?
This is true. We still got Will Ferrell though.
Yeah.
We'll do Will Ferrell movies. Not to mention, Stefan was still upset about the whole Office situation, losing.
Well,
friends.
Andy was upset about the LeBron every situation.
All the situations.
Just upset in general.
Yeah.
Any bracket I go into, I'm upset about.
And then we got to start working on our college football polls.
Wimbledon bracket, you're happy about that?
Yeah.
Get to work on the Australian bracket, or not the Australian, U.S. Open bracket.
Open.
Sorry.
That'll be a while because they don't release the damn draw until like 2 days before.
And yeah, I think that'll do. I'm not even gonna play us out.
So Will Ferrell bracket? Is that what we're doing?
Actually, I can.
Will Ferrell. Will
yeah.
Ferrell.
And if we have time, we'll do another bracket. Why not? We got a lot of non.
Bracket boys are back.
Bracket boys.
Bracket boys.
Reunited. It feels so good. Next week. Until next week. I'm like, how can I hear the music if I have it muted? But they can at home. Enjoy.
2-1.
Hopefully better put together next week.
I like that better this one.
Where you don't hear anything. Good quality.
We got the ball rolling. I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah. Once I forgot about the whole situation.
But nobody's really loosened up the party. It's still open.
We did that last year, so we'll do that next year. For the third annual. Ooh, spoiler alert. Cleveland Browns. Getting the Cleveland Brown Award again.
Unless Cleveland has a winning record, they're thrown in there every year.
And then, of course, you have Marvin Lewis Award. So.
I know.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Or listening. Brewer. What? You want attention? I don't know what happened.
What's going on?
I don't know. Because like everything else sounded fine.
You really had me